Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Tech Tuesday, brought to you by Delta Media Group, where we're not quite sure we agree with that whole dogs can't eat chocolate thing, right? Because Turner fed Hooch a whole lot of chocolate chip cookies over the course of that film. And not only was Hooch, no worse for the wear, at least from the chocolate chip cookies. I mean, he was willing to take a bullet for Turner. So if anything, chocolate fosters loyalty, right? I think that's probably right. All right, so today we are going to take a look at the email reporting stuff that's in the DeltaNet. It has a lot to do with how many opt-outs there are, how many people have been added to our bounce list because the system tried to send them an email and it bounced back. So you can see reporting on all that and see information about it and see who's opted in, who's opted out. So let's jump into the DeltaNet and take a look at it. Now to get there, we're going to go to Customers, and then down to Email Reports. And you can see on this page we actually have 4 different charts, and one of the charts is very odd looking. But 4 different charts. Your chart down here will be less odd looking than mine, or more normal looking, depending on how you want to look at it. But what these are doing is they're breaking down how many people have opted in and opted out of these various types of emails. So there's actually a separate opt-out system for email campaigns versus email blasts, versus e-cards, versus My Customer for Life emails. So if, for example, I'm a customer and I get a My Customer for Life email and I choose to opt out of that, that'll just opt me out of these MCFL emails and add me to this list, whereas I'll still be eligible to get campaigns, email blasts, or e-cards. Now when I'm a customer and I do opt out, I'm given an option for what I opt out for. So it's not like, say I just got a campaign email, I click opt out, it opts me out of campaigns, and then later on I get an e-card, and then I click opt out and it opts me out of e-cards. It's more like when I get an email, I get a link to an unsubscription page. So I can click on that, and that takes me to a page where I can determine whether or not I want to opt out of everything, or if I want to opt out of just one thing or the other, or if I want to just turn off individual saved searches. So we really give the customer and the email recipients a lot of control there. And ultimately that's a good thing. Maybe they don't want to opt out of everything, and more than that, the more control you give them, the less likely it is any of your emails are going to be marked as spam, and the more likely it is that they will be delivered. So it's a win-win, works for everybody. So to get back to this page, you can see on the front end it gives you just a breakdown, and you can see mine are very similar because this is all test data, but it gives you a breakdown of what percentage of people are opted in and opted out of these different kinds of emails. Now, and also what is bounced. Your bounce rate will not be nearly as high as mine. Mine's this high because it's a test account, so there's a lot of customers with fake email addresses in here. But to look at these, I can go ahead and click on one, and it'll open it up. When I roll over it, I can see exactly how many customers are opted in, how many are opted out. So that just gives you a quick breakdown. Now, if you want some details, I can click this little menu up here at the top, and I can actually view the opt-out list. Now, this will show me the opt-out list for that particular email. And you can see these are all the customers that have opted out. And if I click View, that'll actually take me through to their profile page. And from here, I can see more information about them. I can click this button to view their subscriptions. And when I click it, you'll notice that this is actually that unsubscribe page that I was mentioning. So when they click the unsubscribe link in an email, it takes them to this page, and this is where they can choose right now. They are opted into these things, but if they wanted to opt out, they could just uncheck the box. You can see My Home Finder, so this customer has multiple saved searches set up. So if I click that little arrow, it actually shows me which ones so that I could disable those individually. Or if I want to unsubscribe from everything, I could just check this box at the bottom. That automatically unchecks everything else, and I would click Change Subscription, and that would opt this customer out of everything. So we'll go ahead and close out of the dozen windows here that opened for me. So that's the first thing you can do from these. And note that when you click View Opt-out List on any one of these, you're looking at the opt-out list for just email campaigns in this case. Or over here, if I do that, I'm looking at the opt-out list for just email blasts. So that's the first part of this. The next part is I can click on that menu and I can click View Bounce List. Now this is different because there's one bounce list. So we don't have a separate bounce list for email campaigns or email blasts. And what that means is the system tried to send some kind of email to that customer, and their email host actually sent us a bounce back message saying that this message wasn't delivered to the recipient, and depending on the email host, sometimes they'll give us an idea of why. They're not always very forthcoming there. But so when I view the bounce list, I'm viewing the same bounce list regardless of which one of those boxes I clicked on it from the menu. So you can see we have our bounce list here. Now from here, there is a quick way that you can go ahead and delete customers that have bounced. The idea is that these are invalid email addresses. So from an email marketing standpoint, these customer records are really worthless to you. So if you want to delete them, we give you a way to delete them in bulk here by just going through and checking each of these boxes. And then I believe there's a button at the bottom too. There we go. And you can click that delete customers button. So the idea is you go down the line, you click on each of these boxes, you get to the bottom, hit delete customers, and that deletes all the ones you've checked. Now just like the other view or the actual opt-out view, you have a view button here where that'll take you through to their profile page so you can see more information about that customer and really determine whether or not you want to delete them. The nice thing about it opening in a new window is I can check a few of these. And then let's say, oh, well, this one I want some more information on, so I'll click View. That opened up in a new window here, so I can view the information and then close that and go right back to where I left off. So that's kind of handy. So that is your bounce back list. Now the next thing you can see on this page that is pretty cool on these is the tracking information for market watches and home finder emails. So you can see tracking information for campaign emails or e-blasts or e-cards on the individual pages for those email marketing systems. But MarketWatch doesn't really have its own page, and neither does Home Finder, because you set those up per customer on their profile page. So right here you can see the tracking information for all those. So these are your actual MarketWatch emails that have been sent out on your behalf by the system. You can see that I've sent 155. Of those 155, 32 have been opened and none have been clicked on. Your numbers will obviously be very, very different from mine because, like I said, test account. But when you scroll down, you can the actual details of who they were sent to, when they were sent, when they were opened, and if they were clicked on, you'll be able to see when they were clicked on too. So you have this full list of all the MarketWatch emails that have actually gone out. And then like the other lists in the DeltaNet, I can type in a name here to narrow this down, or type in an email address, and you can see it narrows down to all those matching email addresses. And I can also choose to show more entries per page. So I have a total of about 150 entries here. If I want to see 50 at a time instead of 10 at a time, I can click that button, and that just makes my list larger. So I can get through it page to page more easily. Now the next thing we have here is the same thing, but these are for Home Finder emails. So instead of the Market Watches, the Home Finder emails are actually the saved search emails. So we can see that I've sent out 35, or the system has sent out 35 Home Finder emails on my behalf. Of those 35, 14 have been opened, and then none have been clicked through to my website. And then here we have the actual detailed information also, where it shows me every one that went out, what day it went out on, what day it was opened. So that way I've got a full log of all those Home Finder emails that have gone out. So the idea is you can get a good idea of the effectiveness of your email marketing, and not just your email marketing directly like the other systems, but the actual automated saved searches and market watches. What kind of engagement you're actually getting with those, and what customers they've sent to. So that's also very handy. So there you go. That is the email marketing system. That is the email reporting system. So you've got this page at your disposal. As always, thanks a lot for joining me this week. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, feel free to send an email into support@deltagroup.com or give us a call. And I will look forward to seeing you again next week.